Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here. You were such a trooper helping me sell these nightmare car washes. For me, they were they were not, the easiest thing, but I would love to hear your thoughts on, car washes. We'll get into a discussion on, how they can be beneficial to so many people. But first, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I feel very honored, and it's been a long ride with you. I was kind of sad when our deal ended, but also happy because we finally got you to the closing table. But you were definitely a pleasure to do business with. But a little bit about me. I am a car wash real estate broker, which I know sounds very bizarre, but yes, it is a thing. We have found a niche market. I work with a lady named Veronica Attlee, and we started Attlee Realty um, right at 11 years. I've been with her 10 years. And we
Wow.
also have, yeah, we have carwashtraders.com, which is an excellent resource for any of your listeners that are interested in getting into the car wash world, but maybe have some questions or where to get started. It's a really great resource. And it also has some obviously fabulous inventory. I personally am located in Dallas, Texas. I focus a lot on Dallas. But we are a national brand, so I definitely want to let your people know that we do deals in California, Colorado, New York. So we are not just limited to the Dallas market. We do have a national brand through another company we acquired called Miracle Car Wash Advisory. So
Fantastic. I didn't know you were at it for such a long time. That's incredible.
yeah, thanks. It's been a ride.
Yes. And the car washes have been a hot topic for the last few years,
Absolutely.
for many reasons, many good reasons for investors. But from your perspective, why are they a good investment? Or a great investment?
Yeah, like you said, the popularity has definitely grown since I started. The reason we even started selling car washes, there was a influx of equipment orders, and so we were actually asked by an equipment operator to start out doing site selection. So we were actually looking for dirt in the beginning, and it transpired into obviously now we sell existing and all the things. But what's really brought, I think, the car washes to the forefront is these reoccurring memberships.
Mm,
And all cities have their challenges with weather. With Dallas, we have these random freezes sometimes, which people would not know about, but we do.
yep.
I know, some markets have a lot of rain. It depends on your market, but these reoccurring memberships allow somebody to sustain income even during the downtimes. So you don't just have to have a sunny day for
Mhm.
to be making an income if you play your cards right and build those memberships. Another reason it's low labor. That's part of why it became so popular. Obviously, the self-serves like you had, very limited, need for staffing. Obviously, you need somebody to pick up the trash, make sure things are working. And so that is very appealing to investors. And then the express tunnels, it's a lot less staffing than if you were to open a restaurant, say, or something along those lines. Even like a retail, there's just there's some benefit to that with lower staffing. So I think that's been helpful. Also, it's a very scalable business. You could start with just one, and then you could buy two, three. I mean, we've seen companies go and business owners that start out just as independents and become national brands. I mean, it starts somewhere, and so you can grow the business. You can either buy a portfolio and maybe end up selling it to a bigger group, or you could build a legacy for your family if it's something you want to keep forever and pass down. And I have a lot of owners that actually that's why they're buying. They want to build something for their family. So that's another part. And I'd like to say we're pretty recession resistant. Um, Everybody wants a clean car, right? I mean,
Yes.
yeah. So, and it doesn't matter what your income level is or whatever. A car is a expensive, purchase. So you want to keep that nice, and we see that across the board, no matter what somebody's background is. And so we're not limited to, oh, only the rich wash their car or whatever it might be. It's everybody wants a clean car. So I think that's helpful. And even during COVID, in Texas anyway, keep in mind I'm in Texas, but at first they tried to say that we were, or car washing was, not necessary. And then they said, wait, no, it is necessary. And there's really limited interaction. You could,
Yeah.
you could pay with your credit card on your own, go through the car wash on your own, vacuum your own car, and guess what? There's no contact. So even during COVID, people were washing cars and making money. So, we can say it's recession and COVID proof to an extent. So,
So yes, during COVID, I believe actually the sales went up.
yeah, a lot of locations
And
it did.
yeah, and also two things that I've experienced. One, in one of our locations, people were spending their last dollars, like that they had on their bank account to wash their cars, which to
Sure.
me is, I cannot comprehend that. But you are right. You are right about everybody wanting their cars clean. And then the other day, I was washing my car as well at another location, and they had this membership. So basically, washing the car, the whole thing, and it was a hand wash thing or inside,
Sure.
and it was $50. And this lady told me, "Oh, they have a membership," and I said, "Oh, what's the membership cost?" And she said, 120. So even if she washed her car twice a month,
Yep.
she technically she should have been on a paying per time, right? But she was
Right.
spending $20 more just to have the ability to do it unlimited, clean her car an unlimited amount of times per month. So that I thought, wow, you don't even need, more than twice a month, very likely.
Right.
But yet she was still paying for her membership, which I thought
Yep.
was wow, so
Yeah.
so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and one of the things that I have learned from some of the larger operators, though, they do price their car wash memberships usually slightly lower than two car washes. And the reason is they're
Ah,
trying to teach or trick the brain of the consumer in a way to go, oh, wow, like I got you. Like I washed my car twice. Like, now joke's on you. And so a lot of the bigger operators will do a less expensive package for that very
ah,
reason. And then others do like that where they do price it more higher so that they make that profit off of if they don't come. But I have seen a trend in having a lower basically membership buy-in so that it builds that longevity and the people don't leave. So that's part of it.
that's also very interesting. Um, so what should investors keep in mind when buying car washes or sites for building a car wash?
Okay, so real estate 101, we're gonna go
Yeah.
there. Location, location, location.
Mm.
And I gotta say, this is especially important in car washing because you've got to think about a car wash is an impulse buy. If I am driving down the road and I'm like, man, there's a car wash. I should have, but if I can't turn around and I can't get to it, I'm probably not going to turn around and go back. Now, if it's right there and I can easily get to it, I'm going to pull off and I'm going to wash my car because it was an impulse buy. Now, there's occasionally somebody that'll be like, oh, my Sunday afternoon, I'm on my way to the car wash, no matter what, nothing's stopping me. But that's not the bulk of the clients. The bulk of the clients are, it's just kind of happens. And so, being where it's like at a corner where it's a good turn in by a big box, you don't want the traffic, the speed limit to be too fast. Preferably, we'd like 45 miles per hour and slower. Because if I'm on a highway going 85 miles an hour, more than likely I'm not stopping to go get a car wash. So things like that are something we look at, ingress, egress, population. You want to make sure that you can support the car wash. How close is the competition? So these are all things we look at even when we're selling dirt, of course. And then obviously whenever we're working with somebody to rebuy a car wash, we go through these things with them because we want at the end of the day the people that are buying car washes from us to be successful. So hopefully they'll continue to buy them and we want to see
Yeah,
them succeed.
exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the mistakes that I made when I purchased these car washes was that I never even bothered going to a conference. I didn't ask anybody about, how to manage a car
Sure.
wash. What are some conferences and resources that people could go to learn and meet people and, meet people like you and other operators so they can
Yeah.
learn
Yeah,
about car
great,
washes?
great question. So we do go to most of the conferences. So we usually get a booth at these trade shows. So the big one for us, since we're in Texas, is the Southwest Car Wash Association. They do it at the Fort Worth Convention Center every year. It's the end of
Mm.
February, I believe. The February 27th is when it starts. But if somebody's new, they have these breakout sessions with some of the top, you'll hear from one of the best operators, and they also usually have a celebrity. They've had like Michael Irvin, and just they keep it fun. But then even
Nice.
for self-serves, they'll have breakout sessions on, should you add memberships and things and an in-bay, and just all your questions can be answered. There's tons of resources. You can see all the latest and greatest equipment, all the AI stuff that's out there, which has really changed the game. I mean, the AI alone, I was actually talking with one of the operators that runs a car wash, or several actually car washes here in Texas called Cowboy Car Wash. And he was saying that with these apps, I mean, he can see when their busy time is. So he'll be like, okay, I only need, one or two guys from this time to this time. But then I know at, between 10 a.m. to whatever time I be, that's when I get hit. So now I need maybe three guys. And he can really evaluate his business. He can also track his chemicals. This barrel's getting low. We need to, I mean, also it tracks like if it seems like they're extra heavy on, they're using too much chemical cost. What's wrong? Is there some sort of leak or something? It's just what these apps and things can do. It's incredible, and those are things that they could actually learn about at these trade shows. So definitely the Southwest Car Wash one. There's the NRCC. That one just passed. That one's in New Jersey. There's one coming up in April. It'll be in Nashville. That's a huge one that I would recommend. That's probably the largest. That one goes back and forth between Nashville and Las Vegas every year. But that one's pretty central. But pretty much most of there's several that are just spread out across the country. So depending on where you are, you can usually find some sort of trade show or training near you. Also, Sonny's Equipment does a car wash college. A lot of people don't know that.
Hmm.
And so you can sign up for that. They do webinars, or they have in-person ones where you can come. And as a broker, I actually went and sat through one just because I was curious, and
Yeah.
it was very informative. I mean, I would recommend something like that for everybody. And most of the equipment operators have some sort of training. And yes, of course, they're going to try to probably sell you on the equipment, but they're going to teach you something along the way. So,
Sure. Mm. No, that's fine. How many, vendors actually teach you about
right.
their business? Not a lot.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I think that's a great resource for sure. So
All right. Thank you for that.
of course.
So let's talk about why we're right now in October 2025. Why is right now immediately a good time to buy car washes?
Okay, so I will say there's a sense of urgency right now for a lot of people. As you know, this year they did pass the big, beautiful bill,
Yes.
or one big, beautiful bill. And this is huge for our industry. We are back at 100% depreciation, so you can take advantage of cost segregation. So what that means is you can write off the equipment and things like that. And I mean, I'm telling you, it can save significant. I have people literally come to me right around now,
Yeah.
October, and trying to close before December 31st, and they will say, I literally need to close so that I can have some tax write-offs. So, and it helps you, I mean, in the long run with scaling your business. I mean, if you think about it. So for many reasons, I would say there's a sense of urgency right now if you are going to want to take advantage of buying a car wash, and taking advantage of that tax law. It would be, you need to do it now, because usually a deal for a car wash can take 30 to 90 days to close. So we're really right at that
Mhm.
that point where if you're going to get it done, we need to we need to be going under contract. So
Yes. Yeah. And I believe car washes have the highest bonus depreciation of all real estate asset classes. Is it 90 some percent?
yeah, it's very, very high. They say car washes and convenience stores, if I'm not mistaken, are two of the highest. So when people think cost segregation, car washes is at the forefront. And I even have a gentleman that I work with. His name is Tom Brody, and he will actually do cost segregation reports for me for my listings. And so it's really interesting. So I can actually share those with my buyers and be like, hey, listen, this is what it could look like. This could be your savings, and it's so significant. When I send it to people, it's kind of funny. We get associated with the Breaking Bad, and is this legal? Are you money laundering? And And I'm like, no, I promise this is 100% legal. There is tax code to back it up. And in fact, the IRS likes, they like this. It's okay. So everything is fully legal. Obviously, you'd want to get somebody like a Tom Brody, or get your CPA. You want to get somebody involved that knows the ins and outs. They will run a report. And even if we close, let's just say December 31st, you can still do the report after, so it could happen, in 2026, but you just have to close by December 31st,
Mm,
2025. Otherwise, it would go to your next 26 taxes, if you bought, after the 31st.
sure.
But so that's kind of the process. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. As far as bonus depreciation goes and closing on time, we actually just closed on an industrial building with investors, and
Sure.
their tax break is going to be around 50-60% for the bonus depreciation. So it just goes to show how huge of a difference that is compared to car washes. And so send your tax problem to Melissa and see, which car wash may be the most beneficial for you.
Yeah, it basically covers anything minus the land, pretty much. I mean, and
Exactly.
especially with car wash, the equipment does depreciate. I mean, you do have to replace parts and things like that. So that's part of why it's so high up there, like you said, because a lot of the parts are going to wear and tear. So.
Yep. Yep. And I don't know if we should even cover this or if we already discussed some of this topic. But why have car washes grown in popularity over the last, few years? Everybody has been talking about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, a little bit of the membership, but I think awareness. There was back in, I want to say it was in 2022, the Wall Street Journal came out with some different articles about buying express tunnels and how profitable they could be. And I will say that was a blessing and a curse. We did get very busy. People had a lot more knowledge of that you could buy a car wash, and but everybody thought, oh, you buy an express tunnel, you're going to make $1 million, and well, there's a lot more to it than that. You don't just
Yeah.
open the doors. You need to, it is an experience. I mean, you got to think about a car wash as a service. And so if somebody goes through and they have a bad experience, just like if you go to a restaurant and you have a bad experience, a bad service, you're probably not going to go back.
Yep.
And so keeping that customer service, uh, I always recommend to people that are doing express tunnels, have somebody at the front that's greeting the people. Not only is it going to make the experience great if they're a nice greeter, they can push the buttons on the POS so that, it could slow down the line if I'm sitting there trying to figure out where do I put my credit card? I don't know what, and if you have somebody that's there, keeping that flow going, and then also they can upsell the memberships, which is huge. So
Hmm.
I think consumer knowledge about the space, and the excitement that's come with it, has really, really triggered growth. And then, of course, we've had an influx in PE money, which is no no surprise. And so when the
Yeah.
PE money started coming in, obviously it started expanding, and we've had chains obviously doing a lot of M&A. Which has grown, but for the individuals, I think they heard about a business that they thought they could do, like I said earlier, without a ton of employees. Yes, you need employees. Yes, you need staff. I'm not saying that, but you don't need as many as if you were going to go open an Italian restaurant, So,
Yeah, these car washes, oh my gosh, all of them have lines and lines and lines and lines of cars, even on a weekday. It's unreal. If you can get it right, how to manage it, or if you have the right team, I think is a fantastic asset class.
yeah, the automation has been huge. And one of my operators swears by hiring people that have worked in the fast food restaurants, because it's a
Sure.
process. Yeah, it's very repetitive, and so they've had a lot of success with hiring people from that field. So.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So many tips. Just go and start meeting people, learn, take classes, courses, go to these conferences. That's,
Absolutely, that's key.
yes. Amazing, Melissa. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you think is important for our audience to know?
I mean, I think the kind of the takeaways would be, if you're trying to take advantage of the cost seg for 2025, urgency now. I would definitely get on that sooner than later. Consult your CPA, or your tax experts about the big beautiful bill. It's really unbelievable what they're allowing us to do, and again, it's 100% legal. So I'm excited about. where the car wash world is going. I don't think we're slowing down. I get asked that question a lot. I feel like I've had one of my busiest years ever. Our company as a whole has had our best year ever. So, I think we're only on the up and up right now. So,
Well, Melissa, I only invite people that I either have had a phenomenal experience with or that I know that somebody else that I know has recommended on the podcast. And you were truly, truly a wonderful broker to work with, very detail oriented. And, it was not a big deal for you. And you were very organized and you never dropped the ball on this deal that took a minute to sell. So I
yeah.
want to say that you are incredible and I really appreciate all of your efforts. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words, and you're a pleasure to work with. The best way would be to reach out to me on my email. It's just my name, Melissa, Melissa, at attleerealty.com. Or I do have an Instagram. It's at the at sign, Car Wash Princess Melissa. So that one's a fun one for you.
I love it. And you said
Yeah.
you had a newsletter. What's the
I
website for
do.
your newsletter?
Yeah, so if they just email me, then we can add them to our newsletter. And it's kind of funny when we go to these trade shows, I'll have people come up to me and go, "Oh, I get your newsletter." So I mean, I guess it's pretty effective. We've got a lot of subscribers, and I see the open rates, and it's almost always over 50% open rate, and so
Wow.
people are reading it, I guess. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
All right. We'll put both links under or your email and your Instagram under show notes. Melissa,
great.
thank you so much. I really
Thank you
appreciate your
so
time.
much. Yeah, very fun. I appreciate it. Thanks.